Hang tight. Okay. All right. I'm super honored and excited to be here tonight, guys. And we have a very special guest who I first was, I guess, introduced to, although we haven't met personally, but I joined a mastermind group that Brian was leading about 6-8 weeks ago. And I sat through that first meeting, and he was the speaker, like in the hot seat that day. And I sat there mesmerized the entire time. I loved it so much. I immediately messaged him afterwards and just said, I was just a guest today, but thank you so much. Such great information. I immediately ordered his books. I was sharing it with my husband. I was sharing it with my sisters, who many of you know are here as well. And then I thought, I want to share this with my team. Like, not only do I want to share it with my team, I want to share it with the Park Lane community. Everybody deserves to hear from this very wise man. So I'm not going to waste much time here. Let me tell you a little bit about Brian, and then I'm going to pass him over as host. I just discovered I should have made it possible where he could be our co-host tonight, but I didn't know how to do that. So anyway, I'll just share with you a little bit about Brian, and then I'm going to make him host so he can share his screen and we will get started. So Brian has been in the industry for 22 years. He's been working this business full-time for 22 years in the network marketing direct sales industry. In that time frame, he has earned over $25 million. He is a $25 million earner. Just soak that in for a moment, okay? He has 2 million customers. He has a team and organization of over 400,000 people. So just soak that in for a moment. But I think the most important fact that I want you guys to remember about this very wise man is that his net worth is greater than the $25 million he has earned from this industry the last 22 years he's been in business. And that is what is so remarkable to me. And that is why I'm so excited that we are here tonight. So, Brian, I'd like to welcome you. Are you there?
I am here.
Hello, hello.
Well, it's good to see you.
It is great to see you as well. And I am going to give you the host. You are now the host with the most.
All right. Fantastic. Well, first of all, Tish, I appreciate the opportunity to be on here. This is not how I make my living. I'm not a professional speaker. I don't go around to different companies and do trainings. I actually am paying to be a part of a mastermind, a 6- and 7-figure earner mastermind with Eric Worre at GoPro. And that's how Tish and I got connected. And Eric Worre and his wife, Marina, they've been enjoying some of the coming out from COVID. And they've been doing a little traveling. They're spending 1 month in Greece right now. And anyhow, I don't know where they were, but they asked me to fill in and do a training that day on money and wealth building, because that's kind of been a big interest of mine for a long time. And I've been teaching that for quite a while as well. And again, that's why we're here. But Tish, I do want to start off by just sharing with everybody that when you threw out the numbers in the introduction, I'm humbled to hear that. It's still, after all these years, you still pinch yourself, but I don't want anybody to be turned off by that. It's easy to turn somebody off when you talk about big numbers, because not everybody's here to go out there and create something like that. A lot of people get into direct selling or network marketing because they want to make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month to take care of a car note, or to help with their mortgage, or to put their kid in a private instead of a public school, or to support a charitable cause that's important to them. So when I talk to people about my business, I try to remember to meet people where they are, right? I don't want to talk about making $1 million a year when somebody currently makes $50,000 a year and they can't even fathom that. We blow them against the wall and they think that you're a liar and they want nothing to do with it. But I do want to share with you at the beginning here, because we're in this amazing industry, and it's called by different names. Some people call it direct selling. Some people call it network marketing. Some people call it multi-level marketing. Basically, it is whatever you want it to be. If you only want to take an amazing product and sell it to people directly, that's direct sales. And that's amazing. You know, you can go out and you get out of the business what you put into it. Or as hunters would say, you eat what you kill, right? You get, you know, like in my real estate background, if I sold a house, I got paid. If I didn't sell a house, I didn't get paid. So direct selling allows that. But what I really was intrigued by was the network marketing aspect, because my background in real estate, my parents built a very large real estate company across Maryland, DC, and Virginia. I think I saw Jean or Jeannie posted in the chat that she's from Annapolis, Maryland. I actually just moved 5 years ago from Annapolis down here to Leesburg, Virginia. But my whole life, I watched it in real estate. There are agents that are working their butts off 60 and 70 hours a week, chasing the next transaction to get paid again. That's what I did. Cindy Taylor used to live in Leesburg. Okay, cool. So, but I watched my parents. They figured out the formula for massive success, which is don't just be the agent, be a broker, recruit other agents, and the agents sell houses, and you get a little piece. But a lot of little pieces adds up to be a big chunk. And they provided an amazing lifestyle for us as a family of 6. Let me just finish my story because I want to get into some stuff I want to share with you guys. And I'm really excited to be talking to you all about some of these topics. We're going to have several topics tonight. And by the way, I know I talk fast. I reminded myself before I began, slow down. Okay. I'm from the Northeast. So if anybody's down south, you're like, I can't handle this Yankee, but by the way, I'm below the Mason-Dixon line. So I'm not a Yankee for anybody who's taking notes on that. So I was working crazy hours in real estate. And another agent I was trying to hire to come work for a brand new office we had just opened up, he was telling me about a side project he was working on. And I had no interest in hearing anything about it, but I wanted to placate him because I wanted to recruit him into our real estate company. And he shared with me this amazing legal service, which is what the company was the product of the company. And I immediately saw value in having the legal plan. But more importantly, he said, Brian, the reason why I'm doing this is not to add something else to my plate, is because I want time freedom. And the way to get that is by getting residual income. And that's by building a team of people that are marketing this incredible service. And when I learned about that concept, I couldn't unhear what I heard. I had to do it part-time. And that part-time business venture made me my first $1 million in 2.5 short years by the time I was 30. And that's when I wrote the book, making my first 10 million. Years later, that's not when I did, but years later, after I'd made $10 million in that very business, because whatever you did to make your first $100, your first $1,000, your first 10,000, first 100,000, first million, all you got to do is stay on the elevator. It might seem a little boring doing the same thing over and over again, but the elevator just keeps going up. So I just kept on doing it. And I made $10 million for my little home-based business that, by the way, just say me in the chat, if you've ever been made fun of by any friend or family member for you guys being involved with Park Lane, going out and what are you selling now? Oh, you think you're gonna make a bunch of money in that little home-based business thing, right? You hear this kind of stuff? Well, I heard that. My brother called me an idiot. My dad called me a moron. That's not easy to hear. And I don't know if anybody's ever felt beaten down or just felt like completely unsupported, but I cried buckets of tears in my early days because most of my friends and family members that you would think they're the people that should support you, sometimes they're the ones that want to support you the least. And you guys got to understand that there's a reason for that. Matter of fact, the better you do with Park Lane, I want to point this out now because I don't want this to hold you back when you don't even know it is holding you back. A lot of people say that they fear failure. And I'm sure, yes, that's true. Some people are afraid to fail. And I get it. It doesn't feel good. But the only way to get to the top is by failing your way forward. There's a book that I was actually featured in, and I've got it as my team's book of the month. It's called Go for No. And, you got to go through the no's to get the yeses. It's not like go to the right for yes and go to the left for people that are going to tell you no. We'd all go right, but that's not the way it works. You have to go through the no's to find the yeses. And so, where was I going with this? Where was I going? What was I talking about? Wow. I just turned 50. I'm losing it already. So where was I going? So I basically, when I first got going in the business with all that rejection, okay, I felt like, oh, I was going to fear rejection. I was going to fear failure. But a lot of people don't realize they fear success. Some of you all, you look at Tish and others, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be her. But then you're like, subconsciously, you don't even know this is going on. You're afraid to be like her because your friends and your family members go, oh, look at her now. Look at all the money she's got. Look how she's all bougie. She traded in her handbag for that one. She got a new car. They're going on these trips. Who does she think? Because your success, when you and your friends and family are here, you go up here. What does that make them look like? They're down here. And you're afraid that other people are going to think differently about you. You're afraid that you're going to get judged. Now, some people are like, I don't want to be judged as a failure. Some people are afraid to be judged as a success. Don't let that hold you back. Marianne Williamson, I don't know if she's the creator of the quote, you got to let your light shine. Don't dim yourself, right? At the end of the day, do you. Go big, be successful. And if they can't handle it, that's on them, but you can't hold yourself back. You got to let your light shine. And then you're going to empower others to do the same thing you did. It might not be your friends and family. Like Tish said, I've made $25 million. My team has made $540 million in our business, just my team. Yet I have most of my friends and family members are still not on board with me yet. It just is what it is. Jim Rohn says, isn't that interesting? Now, let me move on. Let me do a screen share because the information that it's taken me 11 minutes to get to, Tish wanted me to share. So I'm going to finally get around to it now. All right. Tish, can you guys see that okay? Okay, perfect. So this is actually the title of one of my books, Money Mindset. And by the way, real quick, let me show you real fast so I can just get it out of the way and be done with it. This is that little book I wrote, Making My First 10 Million. It was designed as a little recruiting tool. You can hand it out to people. That's why I wrote it. And then I spent a year and a half writing a book called Building an Empire, which is the complete manual on exactly what we did to build a massive team of so many amazing people making a difference and making a lot of money for their own businesses. And then I wrote Money Mindset, which I'm going to talk about now. And then a year and a half ago, I wrote Untrapped Freedom Manifesto. It's all generic. So I do get asked to speak. I don't typically say yes because I just don't have the bandwidth to do it. I'm happy to be here with you guys tonight, but these are being used by direct sales companies all over the world, at least the ones that are in English and Spanish, because I haven't translated them in anything else. So let's talk about this money mindset thing. At the end of the day, I got a couple slides. This is a little presentation I had that I used somewhere else. So that's my wife, Melissa, and our 3 boys. And this is a couple of years ago at our property that we now own in Turks and Caicos. That's the one, North Caicos, Turks and Caicos Islands. There was me back when I had hair and wore double-breasted suits way back when I was in real estate. And so I started getting mentors. And that's everything, guys. Please never take for granted that you have amazing mentors in your company and in your upline support team, like Tish, for example. Mentors are everything. I've spoken for the last 10 straight years at the GoPro event in Las Vegas. And Lou Holtz, who was speaking on the same stage a couple of years ago, he said, the most valuable thing you'll ever find in your life is a mentor. And I ask people all the time, who's your mentor? Like, my mom or my dad? No, it's your parents. A mentor is somebody who's achieved greatness in the thing that you're pursuing and is willing to teach you how to do what they did. And I believe that direct sales and network marketing, and again, I never finished my thought back 10 minutes ago. I love network marketing because it allows you to be like the real estate broker. You can go out and recruit an amazing team of people with a common goal for everybody to win together. Network marketing is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. I want you guys to please, whenever you can, and I'm just going to be the coach. I'm the teacher on stage. I'm not talking at you. I'm not talking down to you. I'm talking with you guys. Here's what I would ask that you do. And my mentors were blunt and direct and straightforward with me, and it's helped me big time. So a couple of things. take notes whenever you can. If you're driving in a car right now and you didn't want to miss this, but you're driving with 2 hands on the wheel, 10 and 1, 10 and 2, and you're just, just listening, great. But please take notes when you guys can, whenever you're had the opportunity, when you're in front of somebody that's trying to teach you something. And also be present. Now, look, I'm talking to a lot of ladies. Ladies are a lot better than men at being present. I would imagine most wives are always telling their husband to put down the remote and be present. Put down the phone and be present, right? So being present is super important, especially in this world we're living in now with Zooms. I would say that an event like this would be a one-tab event, like close out the other tabs. Shut down your email platform. You can check emails later. Turn off the ringer on your phone. Be present where you are. And when I'm talking to my team, I'm like, hey, look, be present where you are. If we're doing business, be in business mode. If you're on a date night with your spouse, be in date night mode. If you're having a family dinner, put the phones on the counter in the other room and sit there and be present. Live in the moment where you are. Otherwise, you really, really cheat yourself out of fulfillment and everything that you're doing in life. So speaking about being present, let me get back to what I was talking about. So Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, became mentors for me. I had somebody like Paul J. Meyer, billionaire. He was a grandfather to the entire personal development industry. Authored and sold over $2 billion of his own books and training programs. He gave over $450 million to charity while he was alive. Amazing mentors poured into me. And then I wrote the books to share with people what I learned. Grant Cardone's had me on his stage and his show and so forth. So that's a little bit of an intro I just already had and I didn't remove. So let's talk about freedom. Park Lane can provide you a way to generate an extra income, or if you choose, it can provide you freedom because of the business model that it employs. And my hope, one of my hopes today, is to convince more of you to appreciate and to grab a hold of the business model that is available to you that some of you are probably not. Some of you might be just focused on selling jewelry. You're a salesperson. Nothing wrong with that. I was a salesperson when I was selling houses. But what if you can have your cake and eat it too? What if you can be a salesperson and the jewelry that you love, putting on people, right? But what if you could also teach others how to get more people to enjoy the jewelry? But more importantly, guys, we sell hope in a world where some people are giving up hope. Freedom is possible, but the only way to get it is by having leveraged income. If 100% of your income, write this down, if 100% of your income comes from 100% of what you do, in my book, that's called scary. What happens if you get sick, can't work, want to retire, God forbid you lose your job? What would happen? I would never want to put my family, my loved ones, in harm's way by being in a position where if my income went away because I couldn't work anymore, that's called anxiety every day. And people live with that. Most people live with that. But there is a better way. So, building wealth. The main topic I'm leading off with tonight, I'm going to share with you guys some how-to stuff so that you guys can immediately tonight start doing more bigger things to build your business faster. But the most important thing is begin with your end game in mind. What is your end game? I hope that many of you all see a grander vision than just making a little extra money selling some jewelry. Treat this as a business. Build it. And then the cash flow that comes from it, what if you can actually build wealth? Now, would you want to be wealthy? It goes back to, hey, well, I don't know. My friends and family might judge me if I'm wealthy. Well, let them go get therapy for that one. Don't lessen your life because you're afraid of what others are going to think. So building wealth is a decision. And it's a decision followed by daily choices. The two ways that you can build wealth fastest, either spend less or earn more. But to do it, there's two ways you can build it, but to do it faster, how about spend less and earn more? Like you want to lose weight, eat less or work out more. Or how about eat less and work out more? So building wealth. Let's talk about what is wealth. Wealth is a measurement of time. I'm not talking about rich. I'm not talking about like, oh, I got the Rolex, I got the Louis Vuitton, I'm driving a beautiful, S-Class Mercedes. No, I'm not talking about that. Wealth is a measurement of time. So if your cost of living is $5,000 a month and you've got $100,000 of net worth, cash in the bank or invested, would you feel wealthy in that situation? Probably not, because you got 20 months, a little over a year and a half worth of money to live. And if you had no more income and you lost your job, you'd be destitute and in the street after 20 months. You wouldn't feel wealthy. But if your cost of living was $5,000 a month and you had $5 million in the bank, you would never outlive your money. So you would consider yourself wealthy. And I'm teaching you guys this because it was never taught in high school or college. I went to a business school at Villanova University, great accredited business school. They didn't teach real world stuff like this. When Eric Worre asked me to teach this, because all these network marketers and all these top earners and all these companies in the industry all over the world that are part of his mastermind, none of those companies are teaching their distributors this stuff. So what wealth is, look, I want to assure a visual for you. If you're making $6,000 a month and your bills are $5,000, you make the 6, you pay the 5, you got an extra $1,000. What do most people do with it? They spend it. Why? It was extra. That's if you're in a debt servicing mindset. I just got to pay my bills and everything else we can spend. Do you want to be living your entire adult life servicing debt? Maybe you've never thought about it, but that's what the majority of people do. But instead, what if you get a money mindset, a wealth building mindset? You make 6, you pay the 5, but the $1,000 that remains was the only money you wanted from the get-go. You guys catch that? Just say I in the chat if you guys got what I just said. Who cares about the 5? You owe 5 for your bills. But why would you ever focus on that? That's money. It's foregone. It's already gone before it comes in. It's spoken for. But the $1,000, you make 6, the 5 gets paid, the $1,000, you don't spend that money. Here's what you do. I'm going to give you guys exactly what to do. Pay yourself first. How many of you right now have a second bank account that is deemed your wealth building account that you're funding on a regular basis? Okay, so again, I like to be interactive. Say I do in the chat if you have a second wealth building account, and say I don't if you don't. And here's what's great about this. Be transparent, be vulnerable, be willing to grow. Don't hide and say, well, I'm not going to say I don't because I'm embarrassed by that. Well, whoever taught you to do it in the first place? Don't be embarrassed to do something you didn't know about. So you got to have a second bank account. That is your wealth building account. And 10% of every dollar that you make goes into that account. Now, I would do it with your full-time job for those of you guys who are part-time with Park Lane. 10% of every dollar you make from anywhere it comes from your job, for your business, whatever. But at least at minimum, here's what I would say. The beautiful thing about direct selling, you can do it part-time. The power of part-time. You got a full-time job that you're living on, that income. Let's say you're making an extra $500 a month from Park Lane, which, by the way, you might say, just take that word only out of your dictionary. It's not a part of your vocabulary, only. What do you mean only? Don't ever belittle your success by saying, I'm only making $500 a month in Park Lane. Do you realize how many families $500 a month would save them? It would keep them above water. And you say, well, I'm not Tish. Or I'm not one of these 6 or almost 7-figure earners. Like, comparison is a thief of joy. Don't compare. Be inspired to know that there's more to chase after and build towards, for sure. But that $500, it needs to go into the wealth building account. Let me show you what to do with that. And by the way, you don't need 6 figures to get wealthy. In my Money Mindset book, there is a chapter on page 45. There is a chart. Check this out. What if you were making an extra $150 a month from Park Lane? and instead of spending it, you invested it. Now, I'm not here to get into a deep dive on investing. Okay. Sometimes I do that in different circumstances. We don't have time for that. But let's say you got into an S&P index fund, an S&P stock index fund. I don't know how somebody just drew on the screen. It's a setting that's, I don't think we can deal with it now, but anybody who just wrote on the screen, don't write on the screen. S&P index returns about 10% on an annual basis, and it has for the last 40 or 50 years. On average, 10% return on your invested money. So if you invested at $150 a month at a 10% compounded return, check this out. In 10 years, you got $30,000. 20 years, 115,000. 30 years, 341,000. 40 years, in 40 years, $956,000. Almost $1 million at $150. You might say, well, I'm not that young anymore. I can't wait 40 years to get that net worth building up. Well, what if you doubled it? What if you work a little harder and you make an extra $300 a month from your business? Again, you're living off your job income, and you're just taking your Park Lane $300 a month, and at 10%, what happens? 61,000, 229,000, 683,000, 1.9 million. Now you might say, well, I don't have 40 years. Well, guess what? 30 years, you got a 683,000. What do we have to speed it up? Well, let's speed it up. $600 a month. Just input more investment capital. So if you make 600, and I tell people all the time, I say, look, let me show you a business that can generate some supplemental income for you, but I'm not going to leave you there. I'm going to help you take that side business, that supplemental income. I'm going to show you how to deploy that money into some investing opportunity to be able to grow your net worth so that you can retire or retire early. Some people will never retire, unfortunately. They'll work until they're dead because they're just not doing anything to build up for retirement. But this is going to allow people to retire even sooner. At $600 a month, $124,000 in 10 years, $459,000 in 20 years, $1.3 million in 30 years, $3.8 million in 40 years. I may say, okay, Brian, now you're starting to get my attention. Okay, well, now check this out. $1,500 a month. Wave at me, like physically wave at me. And by the way, turn on your camera if we can't see you. We want to see everybody. We want to see you. Be present. Like if you can't, like when you guys go back to like physical meetings, conventions again, you can't turn your screen off when you're sitting in a chair in a live event. So just be live event. Wave at me if you truly believe that you can make $1,500 extra a month from Park Lane. Can you guys believe that you guys can do that? Well, first of all, if you don't believe, you got to work on your belief because it's a fact. Many people are already doing it. So you got to raise your belief to believe that you can do what all these other people are doing. So $1,500 a month. Check it out. In 10 years, 309 grand. 20 years, 1.1 million. 30 years, 3.4 million. In 40 years, $9.5 million. And you're only investing $1,500 a month. There's a moral to that story, which is the sooner you get going with this, the better. If you're 50 years old right now, and you don't want to wait until you're 90 to build up that net worth, then guess what? Invest a higher amount sooner. And I'll give you one more, take it one more, level down, $3,000 a month. You got 619,000, 2.2 million, 2.3 million in 20 years, 6.8 million, 19 million. Again, this is just a formula. I'm not just making this stuff up. So 2 things. Number 1, get a second bank account set up that it's not your rainy day fund. You're not going to take it out when your brakes go out on your car, or you need to replace a hot water heater, or you got to do something for your kid's birthday. That all comes out of your main bank account that you've been living out of your entire life so far. Your wealth building account, money goes in. The only way it comes out is to put it into investments. If you're buying a house for real estate purposes, investing or stock or whatever you're investing your money in. Okay. So that's a little bit about the financial part of that. Now, you also got to remember your 1099. So your taxes, you're responsible to pay taxes on the income that you're making. So put away 20% as it comes in. Now, of course, you're going to have all kinds of amazing tax deductions as a home-based entrepreneur now. You get to write off meals and mileage in your car and home office expense. You get to write off your utilities, write off a percentage of your utilities, a percentage of cleaning your house. And by the way, for anybody who's still cleaning their house, unless you do it because you like the therapeutic aspect of it, I would say pay somebody else to clean your house. Look, if you can make $100 an hour doing a presentation for Park Lane, pay somebody $50 an hour to clean your house. Okay, whole nother topic. But put away 20% as it comes in. Make sure that you are paying your taxes on time so you're not getting penalized, and use the tax advantages to your advantage. Again, in the Money Mindset book, I have a list of all the different tax deductions that you should be taking advantage of, and more ideas on the investing, on the taxes and so forth. But just want to give you, look, Robert Kiyosaki, I like to quote him. He's such an amazing coach and mentor for so many of us. It's more important to grow your income than cut your expenses. It's more important to grow your spirit than cut your dreams. He also said financial freedom is a mental, emotional, and educational process. Like I said before, that financial freedom, that building wealth, it's a decision. I hope that you will make a decision. If you've never done it to this point in your life so far, make the decision that you're going to build your wealth. Decide. Again, success is a decision followed by daily choices. Got to daily build your business. You got to daily put money into that investment account, and you got to focus on growing it, and never be ashamed. Never play small. Okay. Now, knowing that you need to make a change isn't enough. You got to have the guts you have to find the guts to do it. Now, you guys already said yes to Park Lane. You're in the business, which is amazing. Most people haven't even gotten to where you are. They're still on the outside, not even looking in. They're not even paying attention to entrepreneurship, which is the key to freedom. Now, why join? Again, this is a slideshow I've used in other circumstances. So I already talked a little bit about why joining a direct sales company like this, but it's about changing where you live. And I hope I can help some more of you all tonight make this shift. There's got to be a shift that you got to decide on. You've already had a job, which means you're in the E quadrant, an employee, trading your time for money. When you saw Park Lane, you're like, hey, I can actually, instead of trading my time for money, I can be self-employed, where I can call my own shots. I can build my Park Lane business however I see fit, as big as I want, right? Whoever, as much as I sell, I get paid on commissions on all those sales. That's being self-employed. So if you're a direct salesperson, direct seller, you are self-employed, which is fine, but it's not as great as what's being offered to you. The B up in the right corner, top right, the B quadrant is a big business owner. They are leveraging a system. They're incorporating the efforts of other people to generate their income for them. See, on the left side of this equation, the E and the S quadrants, you're trading your time for money. Whether you're doing it for a boss or you're doing it for yourself, you're still trading your time for money. The right side of this equation, the B quadrant, you got other people making you money. And then the I, the investor, your money is making you money. Don't you want other people making you money and your money making you money so that you're not having to be the one that's making your money? Well, that's what this is about. Network marketing. Now, there are companies out there that have their heart in the right place because the network marketing industry can have a stigma. I'm sure you guys have heard that already. Oh, is that one of those pyramid schemes? Oh, that's a scam. You're just trying to make money off of other people. Okay, you can't hold ignorance against somebody. They were never taught anything otherwise. That's why they say that kind of thing. They don't understand the business model that we have. They don't know why there are billionaires like Warren Buffett and big private equity firms that own many network marketing companies out there, including the one I actually am a part of for the last 22 years, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary next year. These are solid. Park Lane, all these decades have been in business. But here's the thing. If you're not fully taking advantage of the opportunity to share your amazing opportunity with others, in my opinion, you're being selfish. That's just my opinion. You're being selfish. If you're not sharing the opportunity with people that you care about or people that you meet, there are so many people, so many moms and dads out there that want more time with their kids. But what are they going to do? Double their hours at their job if they want to make some more money? No, they can't. So this opportunity, you guys, gives people a chance. There's a great movie, if you haven't watched it already. It's called Soul Surfer. Brittany Hamilton. She was a surfer in Hawaii, and a shark bit her arm off. So she had only one arm. And after her wound healed, she told her dad that she wanted to surf more. She wanted to go back to surfing competitively again. And her dad said to her, honey, I know you miss surfing, but you know how hard that would be to surf with one arm? She said, Dad, I don't need easy. I just need possible. People just want possibility. There's no guarantees in this business. There's no guarantee that anybody's going to make any X amount of dollars when they join Park Lane, but they get an amazing opportunity that's equal for everybody. They get an alignment of interest with real mentors that actually get paid. The more that you make, the more your mentor gets paid by the company in an override. Doesn't cost you a dime to have a mentor. The company pays your upline and override for helping you succeed. It's a true alignment of interest that doesn't exist anywhere else. In my real estate world, can you imagine if I was a real estate agent, why would I tell any other agents my secret sauce on how I'm selling somebody homes? Why would I empower my competition? That'd be stupid. But in network marketing, if somebody joins my team, I want them to have all my secret sauce. I want them to know exactly what to do. The better they do, the more the company pays me for helping them make money. That's why you've got to embrace the network marketing model and get yourself into the B quadrant. And when your B quadrant income is coming through the door, put that in your investment account and get the investing dollars working on your behalf. Okay. Can you guys tell I'm passionate about this topic? I love not just showing people how to make money. You can make money in so many companies out there, but it's about knowing what to do with it on a holistic basis. The money comes in, we put overalls on it, and it goes to work for us, and it buys us our freedom. Guys, my wife and I, our three boys have no idea what it would be like to have a parent working outside of the home. We never miss the field trips. We never miss the ball games. We take them on trips every quarter, at least 4 times a year. Our lifestyle is amazing because of this industry. So that was a little bit about, let me stop the screen share. That was a little bit about the money mindset talk that I gave that I wanted to share with you guys here this evening. And of course, when I was invited to talk about that, it's a passion of mine. But now I want to switch gears and share with you guys some ideas that will help you in building your business to have the cash flow to go out there and invest like that. So Tish, we good on time? Okay, cool. So there are a few attributes that I would encourage you all to focus on improving in your own life, in your own business. That I would say, because people ask me all the time, well, Brian, can you whittle it down? Like, what are a few of the key attributes that have helped you to build such a massive business like I have? Well, first of all, posture. Your posture is everything. If you go to your friend, hey, Debbie, would you be interested in checking out this business of mine? I mean, a little like shriveled up posture is not going to get somebody to be like, oh, I want to partner with her in business, because you're asking people to partner with you in business. So your posture is everything. Posture comes from confidence. But you know what is the biggest factor with confidence? Anybody want to guess? What do you all think? It starts with a C, by the way. What do you think is the most important factor when it comes to confidence? Drop it in the chat. Starts with C. I'll read off some of the answers. Courage. That's a good one. That's not what I'm after, but courage is good. Character is good. Not what I'm after. Conviction, consistency, good stuff. Credibility, communication, charisma, commitment. These are all good, by the way. Caring, compassion, competence, big time, yes. Okay. So I haven't heard it yet. Okay. So this will be yet another one to add to that list. Congruence. If you are not congruent, then your confidence and posture will be really lousy. What do I mean by congruent? Do you guys in your company, do you guys spend a lot of time talking with new distributors about your why? Do you guys talk about your why a lot? Why you're starting the business in the first place? Well, here's the thing. Wave at me if you guys have a big why. Anybody have a big why? Like an important why. And if you're not waving at me right now, either your arm is broken or you didn't put your deodorant on and you don't want to raise your hand. Okay, I get it. But you've got to be willing to recognize or to look. I'm a loss for word here. If your business is not growing, look at your why. If you're not making phone calls to get more people in front of the Park Lane product or opportunity, why not? What's causing you to not do the work? It's because your why isn't strong enough. If your why is so strong, you'll do the business when you don't feel like it. The challenge in direct selling and network marketing is most people do it only when they feel like doing it. Anybody guilty? Guilty as charged for most people, whether you want to admit it or not. You do it when it's convenient. When you don't have your job, when you don't have church, when the kids are all tucked away in bed, or when they're at school, when all the ducks are in a row, when the universe aligns, then you're going to pick up the phone and start building your business. And then you're like, well, why am I not a top earner? Well, it's because you're not making your Park Lane business a priority. It doesn't have to be the priority. It doesn't take place of family or faith, but it needs to rank pretty high up there. And so when you say let's say you've got a big why. Now, you got a big why. It's a big one. It's important to you. You're doing this for your family. But then your activity is not congruent with it. I've got a why. I want to make 100 grand a year. But you're working the business like 30 minutes a week. You know it. If I asked you point blank, do you think you deserve the income you say you want? Now, if I got a glass of wine in you, like that truth serum, and you actually fessed up and said, yeah, I probably don't deserve a six-figure income like I keep talking about wanting, if you actually look at the effort you're putting in your business, right? So when you're not feeling congruent, you say you want this, but you're only doing this, you're not congruent. That's going to weigh on your music. Your music is not going to be right. Because people can sense that you're not congruent. If you're going to be a big talker, like talking to this big why, and I want all this, be a big walker too. You got to walk your talk. Now, I'm sure you guys would agree that Tish is no stranger to hard work and focus. She's congruent. She's got big goals, and she puts everything of her into her business, into her teammates on a regular basis. So that's why the posture is great. Second thing I would say is consistency. Consistency, some of y'all said that in my last question. And this is really important. I actually did this at the GoPro event about 3 years ago in Las Vegas. I'm up on stage. I got a microwave that was wheeled out on stage and a bag of microwave popcorn. And I stuck it in the door. I closed it up and I hit some buttons. I turned it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I opened it up. It hasn't popped yet. Close it up. Start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. None. Close it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody getting like tired of this already? Yeah. Well, guess what? I did that for about a minute and a half on stage, which seems like an eternity. Here's the thing. Start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. And you will never eat popcorn. That popcorn needs about a minute and a half of consistent heat for it to ever pop. But if you keep stopping and starting it, you'll never eat it. You can do that for 3 years. You'll never have popcorn. How many of you all right now are guilty of that in your business? You're all excited about doing the business for several days, and then you take a week off. And you come back and you rock it for a month, and you take a couple of weeks off. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Anybody guilty? Now, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I just want to raise awareness. Consistency is so stinking important. The reason why I became the #1 earner in my company is because I was more consistent and more focused and more urgent and more relentless than anybody else in the company. And those are things that every one of you all can decide to be tonight. You can be congruent. You can be consistent. You know, it's not 7 apples on Sunday keeps the doctor away. It's an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you're part-time, which most of you should be part-time, by the way, don't go full-time too early. You need to have a good, solid team that's doing some great production numbers on a regular, consistent basis before you decide to go full-time. Otherwise, going full-time too early can bring undue financial pressure and burden upon your family that's not necessary. How many of you, say me in the chat, if you would love to be full-time in Park Lane one day? You don't want a job anymore. You want all your income coming off of Park Lane. So a lot of you guys will make that your North Star. That's what you're driving for. That's what you're building for. But you got to build towards that. But the only way to do it is by doing business every single day. Even if it's 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. You don't do like every Saturday, I do it for 10 hours. And then I'm so tired after that entire blitz that I got to take a week off and rest and recuperate. No. That's like going to the gym for 10 hours every Saturday. And then you're so sore for the next 6 days. When you finally feel like you can walk again, you go do it to your body all over again. No, it's a little bit consistently over time. And if you build enough people on your team that are doing a little bit consistently over time, the magic here, write this down, guys. And I will never apologize for saying the word network marketing. So if you guys think you're a direct seller, but you want the leverage and you want all the frills of override income, then you got to embrace and love network marketing. The magic in network marketing happens when you get a lot of people, each doing a little bit consistently over an extended period of time with a good attitude. So magic in network marketing happens when you have a lot of people, each doing a little bit consistently over an extended period of time with a good attitude. Now, some of you guys might have somebody in your team that's been around for a long time consistently with a bad attitude. And you guys, we all know somebody like that, right? Don't drop their name in the chat. But we all have the people that just don't have the right attitude. That's why they're not winning. They're not attracting customers and they're not attracting teammates. You guys, we're in a people attraction business. You've got to be attractive. I'm not saying you need to be a model. God knows I'm not a model. I'm not Brad Pitt, in case you guys haven't noticed. Right? Don't laugh at that one. But you guys understand, it's about being an attractive person on the inside. Like, who are you? What are you about? Are you about others? You know, do you care about other people? The more you care about others in network marketing, the bigger your check's going to be. Be a servant leader. I've got all kinds of training programs I've created. The locker room training, network marketing leadership academy, time masters for time management, top recruiter secrets to teach people how to recruit like maniacs. But in the network marketing leadership academy, there's three segments of that 5-hour training. 3 segments. I'm not going to get into it, but I just want to share with you the 3 headlines of them so you understand what it takes to build a big team. Number 1, you got to be a leader that people want to join. Are you a leader that people should want to join? Do you feel good about yourself? Now, you might be like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know how to lead. No. Do you have integrity? Do you have character? Are you willing to stay focused and consistent and be a good example? Do you care about others? Then you're a leader, okay? Are you a leader that people would want to join? Number 2, are you a leader that people want to follow? Are you worthy of following? Are you asking people to do what you're not even willing to do yourself? Are you trying to like manage your team? Go sell for me, my peasants, and then I want all my money while I'm here in my tower. No. Are you a leader that is in the trenches, worthy of following? And then number 3, are you a leader who creates other leaders? And that's where the magic happens. That's where you become a top earner, by developing other people. Taking a single parent who is struggling, barely keeping his or her head above water, showing them the opportunity, onboarding them properly, getting them launched, getting them paid, getting them promoted, moving up the ranks, replacing their income. Now they're able to do all that from home with their kids, full-time, making their living. And then teaching them how to teach others what you taught them, and empowering them with a team that's starting to grow. That's the metamorphosis. That's the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? So become a leader. People want to join, want to follow, and who develops other leaders. Okay. Next thing I want to share with you all, in addition to being consistent, is being urgent. Some people act in this business. They act like they got forever. Like there's no hurry. Well, first of all, people are attracted to people who are going places. People are attracted to movers and shakers. Dogs don't bark at a parked car. People don't, it's kind of a catch-22, but if you go on social media, people are flocking as followers to the people that are the big personality type stuff out there doing something. I don't care. They could be the best gardener on the planet, and everybody's following their channel for that. They're the best dog groomer. They're the best, keto person. They're the best, workout, coach. They're the best money coach. They're the best, whatever. You got to be a mover and a shaker, and you got to be urgent about it. See, here's what I did. When I first got into my business, I made a list of 200 people who I wanted to share our service and our opportunity with. Now, my main goal was not just to get customers. I wanted to get a lot of distributors and build a team, because a customer is one customer. If I go to Kathy Cassidy, is that a customer? I got one customer. But if I recruit her into the business and I teach her how to go out there and do the same thing, that Kathy goes from being one customer to being a possible leader of a team that can go get 10,000 customers for us, right? So my mindset was always about recruiting from day one. So my point here is that I took that 200 list, that list of 200 names. I didn't take 2 months to call them. I didn't take 2 weeks to call them. I called them in 2 days. Now there's a little lesson buried in there, which is say less to more people. If I had made 200 phone calls in 2 days, obviously I didn't say much to anybody. It was more like, you got to see this. You got to check this out. You got to see this. You got to check this out. They're like, see what? Check out what? I'm like, I don't know. All I know is you need to come see what I just saw. So you can write that down. All I know is I just played stupid. I'm like, I don't know. All I know is these people I just met are making a ton of money from home, and I'm now doing what they're doing, and it's awesome. You need to check it out. And then I would have them come out to a presentation. I would send them a videotape in the mail. That's how old I am. I would send them videotapes, the cassettes, VHS. And then it became DVDs. They became CDs, and became on the website, video links and stuff like that. Now we got Zooms. I mean, it's all the same process. So I was very urgent. And in that process, I was urgent and I was a visionary. You've got to have a vision for what you're building. You need to sell people on it. So if Kathy is like, we're looking to build a big team, in her conversation, she's like, hey, we're going to assemble a team of 10,000 ladies that are getting, 50,000 customers for our jewelry. And we're going to have, hundreds of six-figure earners on the team that no longer have jobs. And they're home with their kids and traveling. So you got to sell the vision. First, you got to sell yourself. The biggest sale you're ever going to make is selling yourself. And then you sell that to others, and then they join the team. So you sell it to your prospects. They join based on your vision, and they stick around in their business because you sold them not on just your vision, but you helped them create a vision, and you sold them on their vision, what they're going to build for them and their family. So you got the Park Lane vision. By the way, amazing company, but you guys already know it, but I'm telling you, you got an amazing company with a company vision. And then you got your vision. And then your teammates, you help them to discover and craft a vision for them and sell them on it. And by the way, guys, you're never done recruiting. So if I recruit Luella Vines into Park Lane, guess what? She got interested when she signed up. But every day that ticks by and she's not Tish, she's one step away from quitting. So you got to keep on recruiting. She's already signed up. Not done recruiting somebody until they're making full-time money in the business. Because otherwise, they're every day they're getting no's. Every day that they're trying to build their business, they're getting no's, more no's than yeses, because that's what we all get. I get 9 no's for every yes, or probably more like 49 no's for every yes I get. I feel like I'm pretty darn good at what I do. I still get a massive majority of people telling me no. So that'll never go away. It's just a game of numbers. Just talk to more people. But if Luella goes out and gets 10 no's in a row, she could be gone. So I'm going to continually sell her on her vision for what she got started for in the first place. Okay. You got to be focused, got to be relentless. Just some ideas I want to share with you. Look, become a world-class promoter. I would write those 3 words down: world-class promoter. Now, there's 261 of us on here right now. That means Tish did a great job getting the word out, and she must have said something that had to do with WIIFM. You can jot that down in your notes, which is everybody on here, that's your favorite radio station. WIIFM, what's in it for me? She must have said something that caused you to be like, well, I'm going to get on this Zoom to hear this guy because I'm going to gain from it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been on here for the last hour. So how can you be a better promoter? That is the $1 million question. Work on your promoting skills. What can you say to prospects to get them to see a Park Lane presentation? What can you say to your team members to get them to attend a training event like the one we're on right now? Promoting is the highest paying skill in network marketing, period. So just get better at promoting. And one of the things you're also going to want to do is get really good at edification. Edification. For example, I don't know Elizabeth Baker. I don't know what rank she is in the company. I don't know if she's making $500 a month. I don't know if she's making $500,000 a year. But I can tell you this: if I'm trying to go recruit Carol Griffin on board, I can't edify myself. I can't say, Carol, let me tell you how great I am and why you need to listen to me and do what I say. She could be like, you're obnoxious, get away. But if I say, hey, Carol, let me tell you, I get the privilege to work with an amazing mentor. Her name is Miss Elizabeth Baker. She knows all the facts about this business. She knows how the big money's being made. She loves to help people, and she's down to earth, loves to have fun. She's super busy helping people and being Miss Amazingness that she is. But if I can get just a couple minutes of her time so she can share with you some insights on how this business model might really benefit you. If I can, hold on one second, Carol. Click. I don't even fully ask for her permission. I just click, dial up Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, I've got Carol Griffin, a prospect of mine, on the phone. Can you do a quick 3-way call for me? She goes, yes. Click. Hey, Carol. Oh my gosh, you won't believe this. Remember I was telling you the queen of awesome planet, actually, Miss Elizabeth Baker, one of the top mentors I'm privileged to have in my life. She's on the phone right now. She's real busy, but she's got a couple minutes. Miss Baker, this is Carol. And Elizabeth is going to share her story. She's going to share her 30-second story about what was going on in her life. And this is where you want to be vulnerable. She's going to say, here's what was wrong in my life before. I was lacking time, lacking money, whatever. She's going to have that story crafted. You all need to craft your story. Here's what was wrong in my life. I needed a solution. By the way, can you relate? Can you feel me? By the way, if you guys want to write this down, go to my YouTube channel. My most viewed video of all time that I've ever produced is called Powerful Prospecting. Powerful Prospecting. You'll see me in front of a whiteboard with a plaid Easter colored shirt. But I teach this in that video, but she's going to basically share her story, what was wrong in her life, ask if Carol relates. Carol's like, yeah, me too, because that's what you're after. You want her to say me too about it. And then she says, well, let me tell you, I'm so excited because I found this opportunity, started working on it part-time, and here's what's happened in my life so far because of it. I've never been this excited about my future. Would you want to take a look at the opportunity? And now Carol's be like, yes, I want to see that opportunity. Or maybe Carol's already seen the opportunity, and now I'm doing a three-way call for Elizabeth Baker to share her story and close her. I hate the word close; it sounds like sales, but but onboard her, get her to make the decision for me. Because when I edify Elizabeth, I give her credibility, I give her influence that she can now use to help Carol make a powerful decision for her life. I couldn't do that, Carol. Carol, you look great. You're bobbing and nodding. You're agreeing with me and all that, but I'm not good enough to sign you up on my own. And even if I was, here's the problem, guys. If I'm so lickety smooth that I say all the right things, and Carol's like, oh, okay, I'm in. Guess what she's going to do? She's going to go out there and start trying to do that with her prospects. And she won't be 22 years full-time in this industry, able to say all the right things. And she's going to get a bunch of people that are like, no, go away. Because she tried to be all smooth about it and answer all the questions and do all the talking. And they're like, well, no, I'm not interested. Or they're going to be like, well, I'm not a salesperson like you, Carol. So I don't want to I can't do what you just did. But if I introduce and edify Elizabeth Baker and she answers the questions for me, for Carol, guess what? Carol's now going to go out and do that with her prospects. She's going to be third-party presentations, letting somebody else do all the talking. And then when they have some questions, she's going to edify somebody else, let a third-party person answer the questions for her. And then her friends or prospects will be like, Carol had me watch a video or jump on a Zoom. And then she had somebody else answer the questions for her. Carol didn't do much. She doesn't know much, but she's making money in this business. I'm in. You guys catch what I just did there? That's how I built a team of 400,000 distributors. I'm not that good, guys. I'm just smart enough to be not making it about me. I was 28 years old when I got into this company. I looked like I was 20, like literally, I looked so young. And I was out there trying to recruit people that were double my age. They were looking down at me just based on the fact that they thought they knew more than me. So I made sure it wasn't about me. All right. But if you guys are getting any value out of this, which I hope you are, please let me know. I don't know if I told you this, Tish, but I did this for another team, a big organization, and they were so blown away. I kind of surprised them with it. So I'm going to give you guys another surprise as well. I just want to encourage you guys to read. Now, most people are not readers. Most people they were done reading when the last test in their schooling days was done. Or some people are into novels, fiction, romance novels, whatever the case is. But I would encourage you to do some kind of do the kind of reading that can cut down your learning curve so you can increase and speed up your growth curve, your earning curve. I want you to earn more faster. So here's my question for you. If you could spend a couple dollars and learn from somebody who's already done what you're doing for a couple decades, already figured out what doesn't work, and knows exactly what does work, and wrote a training manual on how to do it all. And you can buy that book and you can read it and literally save yourself 22 years of having to go through it all yourself. And just, Grant Cardone, people say, I want to make a lot of mistakes so I can learn from them. You ever heard people say that? When I was at a Grant Cardone event 2 years ago, he said something on stage, and never heard somebody say it specifically like this, but it's what I've always believed. He said, why would I want to make mistakes when there are people out there that can teach me how to avoid the mistakes? Why would I want to make the same mistakes others have already made? Why don't I just learn how to avoid them and just do everything, use the highest best practices and grow faster? So see this book right here, guys, The Building an Empire? It took me 1.5 years to write this book. It'll teach you from scratch to 7 figures a year, everything that you need to know. There's the how-tos are in there, how to prospect, what to say, scripts, It'll share with you how to build a team, how to build structures, how to build leader. All that stuff is in this book. It took me a year and a half to write it. God forbid if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, everything I learned over the last couple of decades doesn't go to my grave with me, because everybody out there can go learn and do the business. All my team members, all you guys can all use that. This book is $17, by the way. There are people that are like, oh man, that's great. $17. Oh, $17. Geez, I know you're talking about making millions of dollars. $17, money's okay. So this book right here, this little booklet, couple bucks. Money mindset. We talked about this tonight. All the stuff in detail. When I started on that slideshow, it's all in this book. $14. The Untrapped book, which you got to read. You got to read this book. It will blow. This will open up the door of receptivity with your prospects if you get them to read this book. But it'll also, more importantly, anchor you in and make you much more urgent about your business. This is a $12 book. Altogether, all 4 of these books, $45. Check this out, though. I'm going to put in the chat right now a code. You're going to get them for $20, not $45, $20. I'm not making any money in these books. Okay. Just so you know, I don't need to. Okay. I want you guys to be empowered. Here's what I would love to hear. I'm not expecting that you're going to go on stage and say it, but it would be nice for, I'm going to put the code in here. Go to briancarruthers.com. It's now getting buried in the chat there. briancarruthers.com. Go use the code 4 bundle. 4 bundle. You get the whole bundle of 4 books for only $20. Here's what I would love to see. I would love for Tish to send me a text message like 3 months from now and say, hey, I just hung up the phone with Shirley Clark. And after reading your books and applying some of the stuff that she saw in there, that she read in there, she just actually got 2 more rank advancements in the company. She's on fire. Just want to let you know that you did good, Brian. That's the stuff. I don't expect her, somebody to go out and be a 7-figure earner on the Park Lane stage at the national convention and be like, hey, I got this trophy. I'm wearing this crown because of Brian. I'm not taking any credit, but if you could just take some of the stuff that you guys can learn from the stuff I've learned that I can pass along to you, so you can avoid the stuff that doesn't work and do the stuff that will work the best. That's what I want to see happen. Because look, network marketing gives kids their parents back. It breaks my heart knowing that there are millions of kids right here where I live in America whose parents are working most of their waking hours. They're missing the magic moments. You'll never get that time back. I know the blessing that I've lived because of network marketing. I want you guys to experience that. And when you feel that way, you're going to be a top recruiter in Park Lane, because you're not trying to recruit somebody, trying to make a buck off somebody or trying to leverage them. Let me go get a bunch of workers under me. No, you're like, I want that lady to be on this team because I want her to be with her 3 kids that she's not with right now. When you care like that, I'm telling you, you're going to attract so many people. Tish, I've gone hour and 7 minutes here. Let me give it back to you. Let me find you here in the. Tish, can you raise your digital hand for me? Your digital hand. Go down to the bottom. See if I can find you down there. Make you host. There you go. Back over to you, I think. Can you unmute yourself now?
There we go. Sorry, Brian. I'm like, I don't know how to raise a digital hand. You're throwing things at me, and I Zoom all the time. You're throwing things that I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Anyway, this has been so awesome. Thank you so much. I sat through a little bit of this the first time, even sitting through some of this the second time, and reading your books, I still got some incredible pearls. You wear on your sleeves that this business is all about helping others. I mean, it just radiates through every single word that comes out of your mouth. And I think it is why those that find a passion in this business, why they do what they do, because it is all about, I mean, we say it every day, it's about going out and helping others make a big difference in their lives and being able to make a bigger impact in their lives and communities and churches and the causes that are near and dear to their heart. And for those that are sitting here that are saying, I want to do all of these things, it's really interesting to watch. But the minute you can make that mind shift, where it's not about you're asking people to do things for you, but you are there to serve and help others do what they want to do with their businesses and their lives, everything changes. So I so appreciate your time tonight, Brian. Thank you so much. I'll make sure I share I've got the website and the code. I copied and pasted it. So I'll share it all the places, and everybody needs to get that package because that's like a killer deal. And we'll be able to do some book clubs around it, I'm sure.
And by the way, I should have said it. That code works through midnight tonight. Well, midnight Pacific time. So 3 a.m. my time. That's when the program ends it, and it goes back to everything is all regular price. So $45 down to 20. Do it tonight if you're going to do it ever. So
that's good to know. All right. Thank you so much, Brian. We won't keep you take any more of your time. I so appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all the chat. You guys are just leaning in, taking notes, really being present here. It just means the world to me. And Tish, please promise me, let me know how everybody's doing. You guys are my new family. I created my whole brand after I started writing the books. I called myself Foster Mentor. I want to be a foster mentor, be an extra mentor for people that want an extra one or don't have one, or maybe they don't vibe with the sponsor that they've got and just want somebody that maybe, resonates a little bit differently with them. That's what I want to be for you. So looking forward to hopefully seeing all your success stories across the airwaves real soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for joining tonight. I so appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. Thank you, Brian.
Good night.